Not every single exercise you do has to be a complete crazy range of motion. This is a great example of an exercise that's awesome. Just by itself, you don't have to get a crazy range of motion. I like to do them on a machine, but basically just like this. Notice I've got a little bend in my elbows and I've got my arms locked. Just using my rear delt. As I fatigue, I'll probably get little traps, that's okay. The rear delts are still getting crushed. Now you don't have to pin your shoulders back, pin them forward, just let the natural movement flow. Like any exercise, you wanna flex. So this machine, I'm using a pronated grip. Some machines, it's a little better, or they're suited so you can use a neutral grip. Either way is fine, whichever one you feel the best. The neutral grip for me gets a little bit of side delt too, which is fine. So you could do them this way, or you could do it this way. I've kind of gravitated more toward the pronated grip here. You can also do a dumbbell raise. So if you're going to use dumbbells, you can do the same thing with your grip. You can either do it pronated or you can do it neutral. If you want to annihilate your rear delt, I want you to go to failure with full range of motion, and then I want you to do what I call swings, hanging swings. So let's say you do as many as you can this way. Now let's say you can't get them up all the way. That's okay. Let your arms hang and just swing. It's only a partial range of motion. It's only the bottom third of the movement. I will put that up against any rear delt exercise the gurus want to throw at you. 10 or 15 reps, full range of motion, 10 or 15 hanging swings. But your first exercise, I want you to do a reverse fly. Maybe you can't get full extension on the rear delt flies, but you can on these. And you can load them with a little heavier weight. I'm gonna do a row with dumbbells, as I'm gonna make sure my elbows are coming out. They're not tucked in, they're coming out this way. And I'm gonna use a pronated grip. I'm also not coming out real wide, I'm kind of coming up medium, and I'm coming back as far as I can, and I'm really squeezing my rear delts as hard as I can. I'm squeezing, bam. Those are absolute fire, in particular after doing the flies. The mind-muscle connection is really important on these. If you are just moving the weight randomly, you might feel this in your traps, your rhomboids, you may feel in your biceps. But if you really focus on your rear delts and contracting your rear delt, it will light your rear delts up. Is it going to work your rhomboids a little or your traps? Yes, it will. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I want you all to do though is really focus on squeezing that rear delt. Truthfully, this combination here, these two exercises is all you need. And you guys know I love variety. I love variety. These two exercises should be the bulk of what you do 90% of the time for your rear delts. We are going to do a third exercise. I'm going to do a face pull. Now a lot of people think this is like the ultimate exercise. I think they're okay. I would never ever put these above the first two exercises we did. I do like these for shoulder health though. So we're going to do a face pull with a little bit of external rotation. A lot of people will say, well, your rear delts help externally rotate, so you should train them that way. You can do all the external rotation you want. If that's the only rear delt work you do, you will not get big rear delts, plain and simple. But it is a nice little exercise to finish with, get a little extra shoulder health. We're going to grab a rope and pull from the bottom. So I'm pulling up a little bit of external rotation here. You can just do the straight face pull too this way. I actually like the straight face pull for rhomboids and lower trap. Again, I think that's more of a health exercise, a shoulder health, which is good. Again, those first two exercises we did, those are the money exercises. I promise you, if you make those two your bread and butter for rear delts, you will get better rear delts. Probably want to do about 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps. You could do these twice a week, maybe even 3 times a week. It's not something that you should get really, really sore from. Typically people's rear delts don't get really, really sore. You're going to get a little bit of rear delt work when you're training your back heavy too. You're actually getting some stimulation on the back workout too. So me personally, I would say do this twice a week. All right, I want to just throw one more thing at you. Just because you're doing 2 or 3 rear delt exercises doesn't mean you can't train your side delts and front delts. If your rear delts are your priority, and for most people they should be, do those first.